our show, Magic Treehouse, a ghost tale from Mr. Dickens. We're so excited that you could join us, and we make up the leadership team. I'm Caleb Pope, the director.
I'm Bonnie Waldrop, one of the choreographers.
I'm Jewel Hicks, one of the vocal directors.
I'm Liz Hodge, the other vocal director.
I'm Lindsay Schmidt, one of the choreographers.
And I'm Rebecca Mulcasley, the stage manager.
Before we spin off into the show, we have just a few announcements.
This show takes place in Victorian England, so be sure to silence all cell phones and electronic devices. Our characters won't know what they are.
And remember, no flash photography, audio, or video recording during the show, because it could interfere with the magic.
Please try to stay in your seats. We don't want you to be blamed for being a thief.
And if you have to go to your carriage at some point in the show, the emergency exits are to your left and to your right.
Now we hope you all sit back, relax,
and enjoy the show.
I know, Morgan, I know. Carolers, we need the carolers.
When the welcome bells are ringing from the shops along the square, when the carolers are singing up and down the thoroughfare, when the king's in a single horse with a hook beyond the then it should be clear by the sounds you hear there's Christmas in the air. When the stars are shining brightly from the top of every tree, when the elderly act sprightly and the babies squeal with glee, when it starts to snow and the ribbons flow from boxes everywhere, when these lights appear it should be clear there's Christmas in the air.
Oh, Morgan, is this not the merriest band of carolers the stage has ever seen?
Yes. But isn't it a bit premature?
Wait, this is my favorite part.
When girls and boys in festive wear have sprigs of holly in their hair, cider moles, popcorn pops, happy couples windows shop, fiddlers play a merry song for passers-by to hum along. Come sing out loud, come join the crowd, come sing along. Heart is overflowing with the happiness inside, anticipation growing for the presents that you spy. When you're all aglow from head to toe with the joy you need to share, when you can't conceal the love you feel, there's Christmas in the air. When you can't conceal the love you feel, there's Christmas in the air.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm as light as a feather, as happy as an angel.
You know those are Mr. Dickens' lines, don't you?
Oh, quite right. Sincerest apologies. I do get ahead of myself. This is Morgan Le Fay, magical librarian of Camelot.
And this is my dear friend, Merlin the Magician. Perhaps the wand game away, quite the powerful tool, but I believe there is no magic as powerful as a good story.
I agree. And while I do enjoy stories of sorcerers and knights and castles, my favorite kind of story is a ghost tale.
It's a story that lives in the heart of a man named Charles Dickens.
A story so important that for hundreds of years to come, it will shake the bah humbugs out of all the hearts who read it.
And remind us of the truest magic of all, the magic of kindness and love and generosity.
But it is a story that might never be told if Jack and Annie don't travel back in time to help Mr. Dickens find it in his heart to tell it.
But who are Jack and Annie? And how do they travel through time? Yes, I suppose we really should begin at the beginning.
On the day Jack and Annie discovered the treehouse I had sent from Camelot.
One summer day in Broad Creek, Pennsylvania, a mysterious treehouse appeared in the woods.
Jack, hurry up! Come on!
can you see? How far can you see? On the top of a tree. On the top of a tree. So many places to go. When you venture outside your window.
On that day, Jack and Annie discovered that the treehouse was full of books, and the books were magic and could take them any place they wished to go.
Jack! It's back! The treehouse is back!
And with so many books and so many possibilities,
The question is always,
where will they go next?
Morgan!
Merlin!
We're so happy to see you. Do you have a new mission for us?
Indeed we do. A very important mission.
We want you to help a
A
writer.
writer with a great talent and a great heart.
A writer with many wonderful stories to tell.
So, what's his problem?
His wonderful stories may never be told.
Unless you help him.
Share his gift with the world.
How do we do that?
Finding the answer to that question is your mission.
The writer's name is Charles Dickens. You'll be traveling to Victorian England to meet him.
That name sounds familiar, but I can't remember why.
Me neither. What does Victorian England mean?
It is a time when a queen named Victoria was the ruler of the British Empire. There's a history book that will help you.
Oh no.
What is it?
Hoop skirts. It's really hard to run and do stuff in those clothes. Can't I wear something else?
Well, perhaps, but you might have to pretend to be a boy.
That's okay.
We also have a little magic to help you accomplish your mission.
I love the violin.
Good. That violin is magic.
Really?
Yes. When you play the violin, you'll play beautifully. And if Annie makes up the songs you sing, whatever she sings about will come true.
Cool.
But the magic will work only once, so you must choose your song carefully.
I will.
Okay then, off you go, before it is too late.
But there's still so much we don't know.
So we'll find out when we get there. I wish we could go to Victorian England.
The treehouse started to spin.
It spun faster and faster and faster.
And then everything was still. Absolutely still.
London, just like in the book.
Wow, these clothes are really fancy. And no hoop skirt.
But you should probably tuck in your pigtails.
Oh, right, I'm supposed to be a boy.
Charles Dickens was born in England in 1812. He's one of the most famous writers of all time.
One of the most famous writers of all time? Well, he shouldn't be hard to find then. How do I look?
You look like Annie, pretending to be a boy.
But if you didn't know me?
I mean, it's kind of hard to pretend like I don't know my little sister, but Sure, I guess you could pass for a boy. Hey, I have money.
Me too. Good, let's go.
Examiner, get your examiner. Queen returns from holiday, fit as a fiddle. Examiner.
How much?
Just a tuppence, sir.
God bless.
Okay, so according to the newspaper, the year is 1843. So now all I have to do is figure out where Mr. Dickens lives.
Excuse me, sir. Do you know where Mr. Charles Dickens lives?
Charles Dickens, the Charles Dickens, lives at 1 Devonshire Terrace in Regent's Park. Climb into my cab, if you please, and we'll be there quicker than you could say, God save the Queen. Always a pleasure to carry such fine gentlemen of means such as yourselves. Welcome aboard, sirs.
Gentlemen of means? What's he talking about?
He thinks we're rich. And gentlemen.
Oh.
Two gentlemen of means are we. What a lovely thing to be.
A veritable recipe for living well and worry-free. I can all but guarantee it would be everybody's cup of tea.
It certainly suits me.
And me.
Two gentlemen of means. Two gentlemen of means. Two gentlemen of means are we.
Evening, governors. Fine day for a drive.
Ah, what I wouldn't give to live lives like yours.
Yes, it can be quite wonderful.
You can't believe what a great joy it is to sip our tea with royal dukes and duchesses.
And travel in a handsome carriage such as this.
Righto. Play polo on our thoroughbred, sleep nightly on fine feather beds.
Dine daily at posh restaurants with crumpets, scones, and French croissants. They often can be seen at a gallery or theater, hobnobbing with London's great and good.
We love the notoriety of our place in high society.
Well, wouldn't you? Come on, you know you would. No matter where they go, they're greeted with respect.
But had you seen us earlier, you never would suspect that two gentlemen of means are we. Such a lovely thing to be.
We're sure that you can plainly see it's great to be a VIP.
I can all but guarantee it would be everybody's cup of tea.
It's Shirley with the D and E.
We're gentlemen of means.
The gentlemen of means.
Two gentlemen of means are we.
I think you're gonna like being rich.
Yep.
1 Devonshire Terrace, home of Mr. Charles Dickens.
How much do we owe you?
1 shilling, if you please, sir.
How much is a shilling?
I don't know, but it has to be more than a tuppence. Give him one of the big coins.
I hope this is enough.
I should say it is. I thank you. My wee children thank you. All the good, hard-working people of the world thank you. Shall I come to pick you up later?
I'm sorry, I'm not sure when we'll be done here.
Well, perhaps I'll pass by this way now and again, and if I see you, I shall certainly stop. Always a pleasure to carry such fine gentlemen. Good day, sirs, and again I bid you good day.
He was nuts.
I think that coin must have been a lot more than a shilling. Nice place. Looks like Mr. Dickens has already given his gifts to the world.
Yeah, and gone some back. I wonder what his problem is.
Yes?
We're here to call on Mr. Charles Dickens.
Indeed. And who are you?
We're Jack and
Andrew.
Right. We're Jack and Andrew. And who are you?
Why, I'm Mrs. Tibbs, housekeeper for Mr. Charles Dickens. And it is my sad but deliberate duty to inform you that Mr. Charles Dickens will be seeing no visitors today. No callers of any kind.
But we've traveled so far, Mrs. Tibbs.
Young man, I'm afraid that right now Mr. Dickens needs every minute he can spare for his writing. Surely you know how important Mr. Dickens' work is.
Yes, ma'am. Surely we do.
Yes, surely, but...
I'm terribly sorry, young gentleman. It grieves me so to turn you away, but I must, and I pray that you will bear no grudge against Mr. Charles Dickens.
Whoa, how are we supposed to help Mr. Dickens if we can't even meet him?
I've got an idea. I'll stand on your shoulders and you can lift me over this gate.
No, Annie, it's too high.
Well, then what can we do?
Oh, Harry, we ain't even swept our first chimney today, and me neck is already crooked and me back is already crooked. Maybe we should look for another profession.
Colin, our pa was a chimney sweep. Our grandpa was a chimney sweep. And his pa before him was a chimney sweep. I reckon you'll sweep chimneys and like it.
Excuse us, gents. We was just needing to ring the bell.
Oh, sure, but the housekeeper's not letting any of us in today. That's why we're leaving.
She'll let us in. You've come to sweep the chimneys?
Really? She'll let you into the house? Hold on. I've got another idea.
No, you don't. See you guys later. Bye.
Wait! Don't ring the bell yet. How would you two feel about trading places with us for a while?
Annie!
Shh!
Trade places? Why? What's your meaning?
Actually...
Yeah, why would anybody in their right mind want to be a chimney sweep? I'll never like the feel of a broom in me blistered hand, nor the pressure and stress that a job like this demands.
Covered head to foot, in a suit of soot,
never ever clean.
Bosses can be mean, and I wonder at times how much more I can withstand. Trading places, a chance to start again from scratch. Brand new faces.
Hold on. What's the catch?
Okay, here's the deal. We've come a long way and we really, really want to talk to Mr. Dickens. So maybe if we can get in his house to sweep the chimneys, we'll have a chance.
This is not a good idea.
Yes, it is. If we can get inside the house, then we can talk to Mr. Dickens.
But we don't even know how to sweep chimneys.
How hard can it be?
I'll walk away and forget it, Harry. These blokes ain't worked a day in their lives.
Wait! He has a coat made of wool, it's about to
Annie, no, it's
freezing! 6 buttons made out of brass and to the price.
Oh, brother!
If that's not enough, we have other stuff. You can have his hat.
I would fancy that.
And we'll throw in a nice warm scarf to accessorize.
Trading places. Colin, can this be real? Brand new faces.
Okay.
It's a deal.
Thanks, and I'll need your hat too.
Hey, you're a girl.
So what if I am?
She's an angel, Colin. A real one. They've been sent down to help us.
I'll walk away and forget it, Harry. Rich folk just strange.
Yeah, let's skedaddle before they change their minds.
Gentlemen don't skedaddle, Harry. They do this.
Stop the noise, you scamps! I'm coming! Don't break my eardrums next time, Colin! What are you waiting for? Get in and get started!
Well, she's no fun.
No kidding.
So, where do we start?
I'm not sure. Let's see if there's a fireplace in that room.
Oh, wow! There's a desk with a feather pen and paper.
This must be where Mr. Dickens does his writing.
Let's start cleaning the chimney.
Okay, but first let's figure out how. Look, here's a picture, and underneath it says, "In England, young boys worked as chimney sweeps." cleaning the soot made from coal fires. It was not only a dirty job, but a dangerous one as well. Great. Dangerous.
Look, we've worked all kinds of jobs in our missions for Merlin and Morgan. We can do this, and besides, we're just waiting until we run into Mr. Dickens. Then we'll chat with him, figure out what his problem is, and play our magic violin.
Okay, you sweep the stones, and I'll push the broom up the chimney. It's everywhere. In my eyes, in my ears, in my...
Let no one enter my study, Mrs. Tibbs, under penalty of death.
Shh, Jack, hide. He's coming. Mr. Dickens.
All right, now where shall we start today? Ah, yes, Mr. Chuzzlewit. What do you have to say for yourself today?
Little do we know what lays before us.
Oh my. Hold on. This mirror is covered in spittle. Let me just do this. There. Now what is it you were saying?
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Good. Good. When I'm staring at a page, when I'm hatching out a plot, sometimes a face emerges, but at other times not. So I look into my mirror, just to see if I can see a character unfolding from the pen that I am holding through the mirror back to me. Bah! Bah, bah, bah! Yes. For example, Pudgy Pickwick.
Who's Pudgy?
Or the Hungry Orphan Twist.
May I have some more?
The Dashing Mr. Nickleby. In the mirror they exist.
And our faces held the stories. All they had to do was look.
Their faces were igniting. A spark to start the writing. The beginnings of a book. Faces in the mirror, stories meant to be, through the mirror clearer to me.
Good day, Charles. Hello, Charles.
Hello, Charles. Charles, over here. Mr. Charles.
Everyone from every station has a story to tell. We can say without hesitation, he will tell our story well. He has the eyes, the mind, the heart to set our stories free. Choose me, Mr. Dickens, choose me. Faces in the mirror, stories to be told.
When I fear my pen is growing cold.
Faces in the mirror, stories meant to be, through the mirror clearer.
Ah, I see. What's that? Who's there? Ah! Chimney sweeps! What are you doing in my study now?
Well, we were working on the chimneys, but really, we just wanted to talk to you about your writing.
I know, it must seem so foolish. I'm sorry, it is foolish compared to... I have to get out.
Are you okay, sir?
I'm sorry, I have to leave.
What's wrong, Mr. Dickens?
I'm finished for today, Mrs. Tibbs.
Oh, what are you doing in here? Mr. Dickens, I'm sorry
No, never mind. I'm going out. Tell Mrs. Dickens I don't know when I'll be back.
Mr. Dickens, don't go. What are you doing in here, filthy brats? You know you're to start in the back rooms, never in his study when he's writing. Out, out, out! Oh, poor Mr. Dickens, you've ruined his day. I hope that makes you happy.
No, It doesn't.
All of England is waiting for his next story.
We're sorry.
There's no forgiveness for all the harm you've caused today. No forgiveness. Go.
She was nuts. Everyone here is nuts, including Mr. Dickens.
We have to catch him and try to fix things.
He couldn't have gone far.
That's him! Getting in that carriage!
He's getting away!
Look! There's the carriage driver who brought us here. I'll bet he's waiting for us.
Hi, hello there. Thanks for coming back. We need a ride. We
Sorry,
have to follow...
no free rides today, boy. I got mouths to feed at home.
But don't you remember us? We're the young gentlemen
You didn't recognize us, Jack. We don't look like gentlemen anymore. Our clothes are ragged and we're covered in soot.
Everyone was so nice to us when we looked rich.
Oh no.
What?
We left all our money in the coats we gave to the real chimney sweeps. Oh, Jack, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. They probably need it more than us anyways.
This is all my fault.
Forget it. We just need to worry about finding Mr. Dickens. Come on, let's go follow his carriage.
Meat pies here! Finest in London! Meat pies!
Come get your shoes shine, gents. Off a quid. Spit shine just fine. Spit shine.
Examiner! Get your examiner! Get your examiner right here!
That's Mr. Dickens! Getting out of that carriage!
Hurry! Excuse us! Excuse us!
Used garments, nicely patched. Did it myself. Make yourself presentable, chaps.
Come on, Jack. Hurry.
Need a hat, fella?
No, already got one.
But yours is looking a wee bit frayed round the edges.
Sorry, but we're kind of in a hurry.
Jack, she stole your bag.
With Merlin's magic violin.
And the bow.
And the book. Help! Stop her!
Stop, thief!
She took my sack!
Stop, thief! Give it back!
Nab her.
Nip her.
Trip her.
Grab her. Stop, thief!
Got it!
Good. Let's get out of here.
Hey, come back with my bag!
Oh no.
What?
They're saying we're the thieves.
Stop, thief! They took my bag!
Which ones?
The one with rags. This one?
Where to?
Them there?
Those two! Stop thief! Stop thief! Stop thief! Stop thief! We have got you now. All penned in, outnumbered 10 to 1.
We better run.
Stop thief!
Where can they be?
Stop thief!
Don't look at me!
Back here!
Down around the alleyway!
Stop thief! Stop thief! Stop thief! Stop thief!
That's them, officer. Right over there.
I'll take those bags, gentlemen.
But there are, sir.
They are. They belong to our dear departed father.
No, they don't.
Sir, they really are our bags. Those two kids stole them from us and my brother just tried to grab it back.
Tell it to the chief inspector at Scotland Yard. Step aside, let us through.
Jack, look!
Mr. Dickens!
Button up, boy.
Hello, it's us. Remember us?
I said button it.
Excuse me, officer. What's going on here?
Mr. Dickens? Mr. Charles Dickens?
It's him, upon my word.
It's Charles Dickens, the writer.
What seems to be the problem, officer?
These boys stole these bags, sir.
When? When did they steal those bags?
Just now, sir. They caught him trying to run off with them.
Well, I'm afraid you're mistaken, officer. Those lads were working at my house earlier today. They had those bags there with them.
Ah, did they now?
These lads are innocent. Do you see what happened here? If I had not come along, the courts might have thrown these poor boys in jail for years. Why? Because they have soot on their faces and holes in their shoes. And how do you think they got so dirty? I'll tell you, from honest work.
Mr. Dickens, forgive me. I'll release them at once.
Yes, officer. Release these lads, return their bags, and think twice before you arrest more children just because they are ragged and poor.
Your bags, gentlemen. Good luck on your journeys through life, and God bless you. And God bless you, Mr. Dickens.
God bless you, Mr. Dickens.
Thank you, officer. And one last word to all of you. Remember, goodness dresses in rags and patches just as often as it dresses in velvet and silk. Come along. I will walk with you a bit so nobody else preys upon you.
Thanks.
And thanks again for rescuing us.
Yeah, we didn't mean to ruin your work earlier.
Oh, no. Dear boy, you didn't ruin my work. I'm sorry I got so upset. It was just that the sudden sight of you reminded me of all the children who sweep our chimneys and work in our mines and factories, But I needn't tell you about your own hard lives. Instead, I insist that you tell me about yourselves.
Well, first, I'm not a lad. I'm a girl. My name's Annie.
Why, I am speechless.
I'm sorry, Mr. Dickens, but this is the real me.
Well, Annie, I am delighted to meet you. And are you also a little girl in disguise?
No, I'm her brother, Jack.
Oh, I see. So you are Jack and Annie. Well, I would like it if you both called me Charles.
Okay, Charles.
Now tell me, Jack and Annie, are you hungry? Of course you are. And as luck would have it, we are just about a block away from one of London's finest establishments. Let me treat you to a meal you will never forget. Steak and gravy, gooseberry jam. We shall dine like kings. And a queen. Come along.
It's my special creation, Mrs. Pinch. Leeks, beets, and celery.
It's delicious, Francois.
Monsieur?
Needs more pepper. Back to the kitchen!
Oh, really, dear? I thought it was quite tasty.
Bah!
Is that? Yes, it's Charles Dickens.
He's coming this way.
To the inn.
Oh, my stars and garters. It is. Right this way, Mr. Dickens. You're most welcome at our inn.
Clear that table, stoke the fire.
Here's a napkin for your chin. Have a pickle.
Have some bread
with this delicious Cheshire spread.
Care for tea, care for crumpets. Take an extra sugar lump, it's on the house. And by the way, the chef is in rare form today. So may we suggest the stroganoff flambe?
You see your place is set
for a meal you won't forget.
So right this way,
Mr. Dickens, right this way. Out! How many times have I told you, little urchins, no free food?
But Mr. Pinch, these children are my guests. They're friends of mine.
Really? Your friends, Mr. Dickens, beg your pardon, sir, I'm sure. Come here, lads, it seems my judgment was clearly premature.
She's a girl.
Why, so she is, but if she's a friend of his, set a place, bring a chair, polish up for silverware. Any friend of Mr. Dickens, it's the finest from our kitchens. And I know you'll find our staff beyond compare. We'll take your breath away from salad to sorbet, so right this way. Mr. Dickens, right this way. Oh, Mr. Dickens, how we loved your Pickwick Papers!
Really? Which was your favorite part?
And we hung on every word about that rascal Fagin's capers.
Sentimental Oliver stole my heart.
Could you sigh my gobby mind and shake your head as well? We'd be so very happy and have such a tale to tell.
Why, certainly.
God bless you, Mr. Dickens, what a gentleman you are.
Oh wow, he's really famous.
Yeah, he's like a superstar.
He's got it made, he's highly paid, he's master of the writing trade.
Please, the room, consume all the best we have to share. You fans can be a bother, and I'm sure he'd really rather dine in peace away from all the public glare. We haven't got all day, so now without delay, right this way, Mr. Dickens, right this way, right this way, right this way, right this way, Mr. Dickens, right this way.
Wow, look at all this food.
Yes, it's quite a spread, isn't it? No one ever leaves the Pinch's Purple Peacock hungry.
Please, sir, may I have a crust of bread?
What? No, shoo! No greedy mice banging at my inn.
But, sir, he only asked for a crust of bread.
That's right, miss. Only the parts that might be thrown away.
Here, you can have my whole plate.
Absolutely not! Bah! Foolishness! Rumors would spread that I give away food.
But Mr. Pinch, you're rich enough. You can afford to share with those less fortunate.
What? Are there no poorhouses to feed them? No workhouses? Let them eat in debtors' prisons. When did it become my job to feed the poor and starving? A shilling is the cost for you to sample what I'm carving. Roast as rare as snowflakes in the islands of the sun. Gravy's just as rich as all the rich rolled into one. But nothing's free today. Everyone must pay, and to those who can't I say, bah! Humbug.
But surely, Mr. Pinch, you don't mean to say...
What I mean to say is... every woman, man or child below the upper station should be on the lookout for a proper occupation.
Nothing like an aching back to teach a lad his place.
Then he'd have a bob to buy a crust to feed his face.
For nothing's free today, everyone must pay, and to those who can't I say, bah, humbug. Bah, bah, ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba, humbug.
Please, Mr. Pinch, sir, if you could give an inch, sir, and open up your heart to the golden rule.
You can call me greedy, but giving to the needy is the very definition of a fool.
What about the sick, the homeless on the streets, the child who goes to bed at night with not a scrap to eat?
Ah, you mean like this little lad here?
Yes, Mr. Pinch. This boy is hungry and weak. Have you nothing to say of his plight?
There is one word that comes to mind. Bah! Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Humbug. Allow me, please, one final thought on which to meditate. Those who believe in fairy tales deserve a dreadful fate. You're dealt your cards the day you're born. What happens after that? It's up to you, it's not my lot to keep your belly fat.
There ain't no other way, do not be led astray. It does no good to make a wish, nor beg, nor hope, nor pray. For nothing's free today, everyone must pay.
And to those who can't I say, bah, humbug.
Wait! Don't let the child go to bed hungry. Here, take this. And this.
Oh, no, sir, we can't. We have no way to repay you.
You can repay me by putting some meat on this child's bones. Please, friends, my only wish is that my small offering may be enough to stock your larder with food and your hearts with hope.
That was such a nice thing. You made that boy and his mother so happy.
For a day or two, but what happens after that? And there are hundreds, thousands, just like them. And I am just one man. I may do a bit of good, but I can never do enough.
The mother should put the boy to work. There are plenty of factories that would hire him.
Factories are no place for children.
Mr. Dickens, aren't you going to have your meal?
No. No, I couldn't.
Charles, are you okay?
No. No, I don't believe I am. There are shadows on the earth. Such dark shadows.
So dark.
And foggy.
Don't you hear them? All the lonely, abandoned souls?
Charles, please let us help you. Tell us what's wrong.
Do you see there? Across the river, there was once a shoe polish factory there. It was a rickety old building filled with river rats. I went to work there when I was 12. 11 hours a day, 6 days a week, I sat at a table pasting labels onto shoe polish pots.
You were only 12?
Yes, and I lived alone.
Were you an orphan?
No, I had parents. My father was a good man, but as hard as he worked, he still couldn't pay his bills. So he was sent to a debtor's prison, across the river. My mother went there to live with him.
Wait, you mean your father was sent to prison because he couldn't pay his bills?
Yes.
But that doesn't make any sense. How could he pay his bills if he was in prison?
That is a very good question.
But at least things are different for you now. You're a famous writer. That should make you feel better.
How? How can that make me feel better? What is writing? Just ink on a page.
Ink on a page?
Yes! Don't you see? Writing isn't food for the hungry. It's not medicine for the sick. Perhaps I should just give up writing altogether.
Oh no, you can't do that.
But it seems so foolish and vain. But no, I have decided. I shall write no more. Be kind, children, and leave me be.
But...
No, I need to be alone. Please, I beg of you.
Needed our help, but... well, it seems so hopeless.
Look in our research book. Maybe it can help us.
Charles Dickens wrote many stories, including Oliver Twist, A Christmas Carol, and...
Wait! A Christmas Carol? Isn't that the play we went to go see last year with that mean guy, Scrooge, and the three ghosts? The ghosts of Christmas past, the ghosts of Christmas present, and the ghosts of Christmas future, who all try to change him by showing him his past, present, and future. And then at the end of the play, he's like a different person?
Right. A Christmas Carol has been retold again and again as plays, movies, and TV shows. To this day, it inspires people to be more generous and kind to others.
Okay, it's time.
Time for what?
Time to use our magic violin. You play, I'll sing.
What kind of song are you gonna sing?
I'll make up my own version of A Christmas Carol. Except it won't be a story about Scrooge. It'll be a story about Charles Dickens. A ghost story for Charles Dickens.
You mean you're gonna make ghosts appear?
Yep.
I'm not so sure about this.
It's magic, Jack. We have to trust the magic.
Okay, but don't make the ghost too scary. We don't want to give him a heart attack. Cool.
Come now, ghosts 1, 2, and 3, past and present and yet to be. He says he wants no more to write. Open his heart and help him see the light.
Come now, ghosts 1, 2, and 3, past and present and yet to be. He says he wants no more to write. Open his heart and help him see the light.
You first. Me? Why do I always have to go first? Because you're the past, old friend. Remember, past before present. Oh, yes. Quite right, quite right.
Ah!
No, don't be afraid. Now, Charles, we find you in despair, but was that always true? Though poor you were and hungry too, can you remember the love you knew?
What? What do you mean?
Behold this room, this bed, this child, this mother's gentle smile. Charles, now don't stay up too late reading.
Is that me? Mother?
Don't speak, you can't be seen. Linger and listen for just a while.
Just one chapter more, Mother. Or maybe two.
You and your stories.
A lad who retired to his chamber, brought out the lamp and rubbed it. And when the genie appeared, he said to him, "Ask whatever you wish."
For I am the servant of anyone who holds the lamp.
Ah, you remember!
Yes, it is me, the Arabian Nights. I loved that book. That book took me to palaces and mountains. I felt I'd met kings, queens, and princesses.
Yes, books can do that.
Wait, don't go. Let me linger in this happy moment for a while longer.
Yeah, and we're just getting started. Play! Come to Charles Hope's second post. It's your turn to be the host.
Wish me luck. Well, 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 Mr. Dickens. I understand you've recently decided to give up writing.
Yes, it seems pointless, and I want to help the world.
And your books have no power to help the world? You say you'll write not one more book. Stop your weeping, man, and look.
So, class, what did we learn today from Mr. Dickens' book?
Ooh, we learned that no one is useless in the world, that lightens burns another.
I learned that a loving heart is the truest wisdom.
Oh, I learned that happiness is something. Yes, and the trick is not to expect it, but to delight in it when it comes.
Well done, class. Well done, well done, well done.
Those are all things I wrote, and things I believe. And they learned them from my books?
Yes, and now they believe them too. Pity writing is so foolish and vain, but shh.
Justin, new chapters from Mr. Dickens' latest. Life and Adventures of Nicholas Nickleby. Only a shilling.
Hardly been able to sleep when you find out what happens to that poor chap Nickleby.
And that actor Vincent Crummels and his acting troupe? Now there's a character for you.
Farewell, my noble, my lion-hearted boy.
Nothing better after a day's work than a good story.
All those good people, they seem happy, reading my books.
Yes, but alas, you have decided you shall write no more. Ah, well.
But why, no, it can't be.
Yes, it is. It's Queen Victoria. Can you see what she's reading?
I say, this Oliver Twist book is exceedingly interesting. It is. I had no idea that children in our kingdom live such dreadful lives. Neither did I. We must do something to help. Indeed. I shall have a meeting with the Prime Minister to discuss this terrible problem.
All of those people reading my books, even the Queen?
Yet writing is nothing but paper and ink. A foolish task, is that not what you think?
Yes. No. Yes, but...
Wow, this is so cool.
Annie, keep singing.
Prepare to meet ghost number 3, the ghost of things that are yet to be.
That are yet to be? Do you mean the future?
That are yet to be, that are yet to be, that are yet to be. Will pieces of my melody
That's a tombstone. A gravesite. Why do you show me this scene of grief?
There, Miss Dickens.
Miss Dickens? Is that Mary? Is that my daughter? All grown up? It's my name. My name is on that tombstone.
Oh, poor Papa. It's so sad he stopped writing when he was so young. He had so many stories inside him. Stories of love, hope, and goodness. It seems almost selfish to let all that things untold. If he'd given his gift to the world, he might have touched hearts of millions.
Stop. Stop. I can't bear it. Wait. You must answer me this. Is what you showed me the shadow of what will be, or merely what might be? Do I have the power to alter this dreadful fate? Then yes. Yes! Tell Mary I've changed my mind. I will keep writing. I will keep writing.
Charles, we heard you shouting.
Annie, Jack, you can't imagine what just happened. I had the strangest visions. 3 ghosts came to me. They showed me visions of the past, the present, and the future.
Wow, that sounds like a scene in a book.
Why, yes, it certainly does. And the ghosts taught me the most wonderful lessons. I must write. I love to write. When you have a gift, you mustn't hide your gift away. Let it out, and let it shine, and let it have its say. You may be surprised to find what it may reveal. A hidden, secret truth, something beautiful you feel. Every woman, man, or child, no matter who they are, has a purpose here beneath this brightly shining star. Something special just for them to nourish and to give. A hope, a song, a prayer, a reason just to live. You must give, you must give, you must give your gift to the world. I must find a cab and go home and get to work at once. I cannot waste another day, another hour, another minute. Stop, sir. Give us a ride, please. Shall I take you home?
Yes, if you could drop us off at Hyde Park, that'd be great.
Hyde Park, then 1 Devonshire Terrace. Please hurry.
Yes, Mr. Dickens, sir.
I know what I shall write about. I shall write a story about a greedy, selfish man who helps no one. Like Mr. Pinch. But I'll call him... What shall I call him?
How about Scrooge?
Mr. Scrooge. That's it. The 3 ghosts will change Scrooge's life.
Sounds perfect.
Perhaps I'll be able to finish the story in time for Christmas. Perhaps I'll call it A Ghost Story of Christmas.
Or maybe you could just call it A Christmas Carol.
Ooh, A Christmas Carol. I love that. I shall keep using my books to fight greed and cruelty. My pen is my sword. Except my books will never celebrate wars and fighting. They'll always show the joys and sorrows of real people. They'll show how goodness triumphs over evil.
Those kinds of books are my favorite.
I'm as light as a feather, as happy as an angel. Am I not the luckiest man on earth?
I think you might be.
Hyde Park, Mr. Dickens, sir.
Well, here we are, Jack and Annie. Where will you go now? Will you be safe?
Yes, our parents take good care of us.
You two are the most extraordinary children I've ever met. I will never forget you.
We won't forget you either. Goodbye, Charles.
Farewell, my friends. You must give.
You must give. You must give your gift to the world.
Bravo, children!
Merlin! Morgan! Well done, Jack. Well done, Annie.
Thanks, but we really didn't do anything. It was the magic violin.
Yes, but your goodness brought the magic alive.
You helped Charles not because we told you to, but because of the goodness in your hearts. And because of that goodness, Charles will go on to live a long and happy life. And for generations to come, people all over the world will read his books.
Your goodness is your gift, you see? And when you share it, you can change the world.
You can make a pie, you can mend a tent, you can make a chimney billow smoke into the air.
You can keep a house. You can patch a rib.
You can help a wayward lad to find his hidden gift. You can be so kind.
You're the man to see when something's very hard to find. You know every cobblestone on every London street.
You can learn to share.
Come, lad, have a bite to eat.
You must give, must give, must give, must give, must give your gift, must give your gift, must give, must give, must give, must give, must give your gift, must give your gift, must give, must give, must give, must you must give your gifts to the world. You must give your gifts to the come sing along. When your heart is overflowing with the happiness inside, anticipation growing for the presents that you spy. When you're all aglow from head to toe with the joy you need to share. When you can't conceal the love you feel, there's Christmas in the air. When you can't conceal the love you